was that obnoxious enough for you? It was? Thank you. I tried to make it as obnoxious as possible just for you. Hey, welcome back to the Library of Horror Hotel, where it's time to once again discuss the fine art of monsters and Halloween masks at Horror Hotel for Creepy Cheapies with me. Okay? Today's cheapie, boy oh boy. Today's cheapie, believe it or not, over the years, I have owned 4 different versions of masks of this character. Why don't I have the first 3 here? Well, poverty. Poverty calls and people make you an offer for something and you think, well, all right, I can't refuse, I'll sell it. And then later you think, oh, I miss that mask. I wish I still had that one. Anyway, today's mask happens to be none other than a trick-or-treat release from the year 2025. Was out in time for Halloween of 2025, and it's from the movie Army of Darkness, the 3rd in the Evil Dead series. The first one to be a goofy comedy instead of really scary, but it is none other than this horrible underbite abomination, evil... No, that's not right. Evil Ash. Evil Ash! Yeah! And if you wonder who or what Evil Ash is because you're not familiar with the movie, whose poster has been reproduced in miniature for your dining and dancing pleasure by the creeps at Trick or Treat, right here, Army of Darkness has this guy, Evil Ash. Why is he Evil Ash? Well, the hero in Evil Dead is a guy named Ash, played by Bruce Campbell, and the role that brought him to stardom, by the way. But Ash is the good guy hero of Army of Darkness, but as in the Manster, he splits due to magic this time into his other self, and he has to fight his evil side. And if you haven't seen it and that doesn't make sense, imagine if Jekyll and Hyde had a breakup, you know? So there were 2 separate, yeah, it's like that. Good Ash has to fight Evil Ash. And if you're wondering what the heck happened, well, Evil Ash takes a lot of abuse, even worse than Good Ash does. And as you can see, he's all chopped and sliced and mangled and burned and mutilated and sticking himself back together. And anyway, this awesome mask of Evil Ash, huh? You think I should? All right. He thinks I should go over the ones I had in the past. The first one I had was by Altarian Ghost Factory, Tony Gardner's studio, and that might have been the best one of all, maybe. Might have been my favorite because the eyes were in it. Then I had a great one from Bump in the Night. Then I had one by Chris Russell when he was doing business as Twisted Toy Box. He made his own version of Evil Ash, and it was awesome. And then now there's this one from Trick or Treat in the year 2025. And who sculpted it? Look on the tag, and it says right on the back here, Trick or Treat likes to tell you this. It says right here, sculpted by Bruce Spalding Fuller, which is a pretty impressive pedigree. Now, I know you're not a show dog. I can still use the word pedigree. Yeah, look at the camera. Pretty strong name in sculpting. Not only is Bruce Spalding Fuller a legendary, mega talented, well-respected artist, he's also the only guy I know who could be listed in the phone directory as being Fuller BS. Bruce Spalding Fuller sculpted this for you. Look at the detail on that. Now, I have heard a couple of complaints. The collectors, some of them wish it had scary eyes in there because in the movie Evil Ash has weird eyes, which means if you were going to wear it, your eyes would show and you would look less weird than he does in the movie. And people think maybe it should have had eyes for display, but I don't know. It's kind of a fun character for people to cosplay, to role play, so you know, maybe that's okay that they made it easy to see out of. People who are insane, I mean committed, should be committed, committed to the costumes they wear, could even wear weird contacts. Although I wouldn't go that far, I don't think. I'm a little scared of weird contacts, or any contacts. Well, not battery contacts. I'm not scared of those, but the things that go in your, yeah. Look at the camera, will you? Anyway, what a great sculpture and great paint. There's a lot of paint detail in this and a lot of color coordination and a lot of contrast. And there is one thing that I thought, well, you know what I'd like to see that could be better about this Evil Ash mask? It's got this dryer lint kind of hair that all the mass-produced masks have these days. And I don't care for that hair. It just never looks like hair to me, if you know what I mean. It looks clumpy and spongy and weird. However, there are a few cases in which they can get away with it, and I think a mangled, rotted, burned up, dead, especially kind of a funny mangled, rotted, burned up, dead guy, I think is one of the cases where you can get away with his hair being a mess. And you could even make it worse by putting in like some, what do you call that? Hair gel, yeah, and kind of pinch it into little peaks and points and stuff and make it look a little bit less like this not very real looking hair that all the masks today have. And by the way, if you wonder about that, that's not strictly a case of cheapitude. People always think that's strictly cheapitude. The companies don't want to buy the nice hair because they buy the cheap junk. But I can tell you, it is extremely difficult to find the nice quality hair like masks had back in the 1960s and 70s and even in the 80s. It's really difficult to find that stuff today, even at any price. Even if you wanted to pay as much as was asked, it would still be hard to find any. And if you paid as much as is normally asked, in my experience of recent times, every mask would have to sell for $350 instead of 70 or 80 bucks. Okay? Now, like I said, I wasn't happy with that hair, and I thought, what would it look like if Laura Lady took one of these and redid his hair? So let me show you. Now you're gonna think maybe, you might think this is too much hair, but when you look at the pictures, when you look at the stills from the film, it does look like Evil Ash had more hair like down here, back here, underneath his silly skull helmet that he puts on. He had more hair in the back than it looked like good Ash, than Bruce Campbell did. So Laura haired this copy based on freeze frames and stills from Army of Darkness. She haired this one, and I don't think this is real human hair. I do think I should have asked her before I recorded today's episode, but having failed to do that, I'm just going to say I don't think this is real human hair. I think this came off of a wig, and I think Laura bought the wig and cut the hair off of it and applied it to the mask. And it's kind of has some gaps in it on purpose, irregularities in it, so that if it flops around, you'll see the skin through it, but it won't look like glue, and it won't look like nice, perfect, straight rows like a production mask. It'll look more like a realistic, burned up, rotted, mangled corpse like we all love. And I need to keep him away from that flame, don't I? Anyway, there's the difference. And see, to me, this looks like too much hair down here for Evil Ash, but if you look at the stills, his hair's kind of long in the back. So here you go. Here's your comparison. 2 zombies, no waiting. Okay. Here's the Laura Lady redo with the fancy schmancy hair, and here's the standard production copy with the dryer lint kind of hair that's called top roving that all the humans use on their masks now, except private artists who have to charge you a lot more money because of the expense of the hair. Anyway, still a great mask for in the neighborhood of 70 bucks. Wonderful evil character to it, and it's also got that sense of humor going on. It looks completely mean and nasty and evil, but there's kind of a sense of humor to it too. It's a little bit I don't want to say whimsical exactly, but there's an element of comic satire to how evil and nasty he is. So that's your recommendation today, the lovely and charming and handsome Evil Ash from Trick or Treat, which came out in time for Halloween of 2025. And now, does anyone have anything else to say? Anyone? No. Nothing.